you'll have some problems where given a function in the homework, they call it capital H of x. Given h of x, find f of x and g of x. Find two functions so that h could be expressed as a composition, f composed with g of x. In other words, look at one function and see it as a composition of two others. Okay? So, example. If h of x is the square root of 2x minus 3, the quantity 2x minus 3. This, by the way, is the technique of compositions, or the use of compositions that you'll make, that you'll see the most often in practical terms in a calculus course. Calculus students are constantly looking at a function and trying to see it as made up of smaller functions in compositions. So calculus students, informally but very usefully, will tend to look at this thing and say, that's the inside function. Let me abbreviate FN for function. And then they'll look at the square root here, saying you're taking inside function and you're doing the square root of that. So the square root is an outside function. And when you look at a composition formula, you also kind of see an inside function inside the parentheses, and then after you do that function, then there's this outside function f that happens to the g of x. So if you look at it in those terms and have g of x be the inside, that's 2x minus 3, and have f of x be the outside, and that would be square root of the input, square root of x. Then check to see that f composed with g of x, f of g of x, or f of 2x minus 3 is equal to h of x, because f of that inside function would be the square root of that stuff. So you'll have problems where you have h of x given and your job is to find f and g. And I think it may help you to think g is the inside function, f is the outside function. By the way, these are not unique. It would work to have f of x be the square root of x minus 3 and g of x be 2x, by the way. Can you see that happening? So you may find that you can come up with other solutions to these besides the ones that are most prevalently shown in the book. But there's oftentimes a kind of a natural solution. I think most people would pick 2x minus 3 as the inside function here. Let me just slap up one more example of an h of x to see if you have this clear in your mind. How about h of x is 1 over x cubed plus 7. Maybe there's not a function that's so obviously inside of something here, but nevertheless, could you see this little cubic x cubed plus 7 as a kind of a function inside of this big function? If you can, then you could have your inside function be x cubed plus 7. Note that it seems like every type of problem on compositions, you always work backwards, you always work from the inside out. It's always g that you think about first. So spot the inside function first, and then the outside function. In this case, what do I do to g of x? I take its reciprocal. I do 1 over the thing. And this would be a good pair of outside and inside functions. F composed with g of x would be equal to h of x. And you know, extra for experts, maybe consider another way of doing this. Maybe g of x could be x cubed, for instance. And then you'd have to modify f a little bit in order to make those be the correct compositions. Goodbye.